and some interest in Grigsby's War in the East, so I thought I would play part of a turn, let you see it. I'm 9 turns into this, which represents way more time than I care to think. It's about half an hour a turn when you're really cranking it out. I recorded an earlier version, but I learned from the tutorials a little bit more about where to place your headquarters and how to read these tokens and the numbers and things like that. And it took me about 2 hours to straighten everything out, which was kind of amusing. I intuitively had the headquarters close, but not close enough. So I am on the doorstep of Leningrad. As you can see, the Soviets have mounted quite an offense here. I'd love to just drive through here. There's a bunch of headquarters and retreated units and things like that. Then I would be very happy to push out of the way, and as you approach these things, the headquarters or airfields and that, they'll get out of there, they'll vacate. So I'm trying to drive north with my 4th Panzer group this way, while our old friends, the 18th Army, purple this time, come in from the west. And it's been pretty interesting. To get Tallinn and Riga was not very difficult at all. I had to drive there, and that's about it. There's a lot to learn with this game compared to Decisive Campaigns Barbarossa, but as I said in a recent comment, I've forgotten the pain of learning the syntax of this. And I think I just figured out that, let's turn the music down a little bit. I've played around with this a little bit with OBS, and there's quite a bit of difference between music at level 3 and at level 6. So the main thing we're doing is, this is your railroad division. You've got 4 of these railroad fixer divisions, labor detachment, and construction battalions. There are automated ones as well, but you get 4 in the full campaign. So just wanted to show you a little bit about the difference. So I have repaired the rail. Remember, I'm 9 turns in, all the way up. I guess they're doing stuff down there. Here's an example of the automated backfilling going on. They did this automatically. I did this. So, what I am trying, and it's very easy to misclick and have to go back and let's see here. So you have to do 2 clicks. You have to move to the hex you want, and then you have to tell it to repair. And we're in the Baltic zone, which apparently the Soviets, oh, we're out of it now. Yep, we just moved over the line. So we went from 1 action point to fix a hex to 3 now. So things are going to go slower as we get towards Pskov here. I was really cranking them out, and now I'm going to be lucky if I know, and I just don't have enough. So we see though that we are going to get 4 new hexes of rail, which means the railhead's going to be here, which is great. That's a lot closer to the front line. Now I have a little bit of a problem around here that I came down to fix, which I think is this hex I need to fix. Let's see here. Yep, it is. I always have to escape out of having clicked on a unit to get this to appear. The rail image. Okay, so that should fix my rail line, and excellent. And it's fixed up. So cool. Just had a very good friend have his driver's license stolen, and someone's trying to steal his Facebook accounts. It's another 6:30 a.m. video. I watched a more... Be respectful of your time here. I watched more videos on tutorials and that. So it may die. Okay. All right. How interesting. I don't know how that would happen. But what am I trying to show here? Yeah. Strategy Gaming Dojo. This guy has all these tutorials and that. And he is the man to go to. And see all those tutorial videos there if you want to play this game. It's the book learning part where you just have to kind of sit there and take it, and it's going to take time to learn. There's a lot of investment, but everything does make sense, and once you learn how to read it, it's not so bad. But I do want to show you the extent of the scope of this game, right? Like, in each army group, I'll spend 10-15 minutes, and it's like being a demigod painter with this giant brush, and you've got all these little particles. I'm surrounding Odessa. My attempts to take it last term were not good. I'm at Kiev as well, and it's August, mid-August. It's pretty funny. These are Hungarian units. These are Romanian units. You can only max stack 3 divisions or units. Most of them are divisions. There are some battalions and regiments, but most of them are divisions on a hex. But the Hungarians and the Romanians will not mix. It's quite funny. Very interesting how the units are organized. This is an SS division, and he started out way back here somewhere, inside the German lines, like over here somewhere. And the rail system in this game is kind of fun because I can get a guy. These are Slovakians who will retreat. It will just tell you, so I'm not doing anything with them. And I also discovered, scanning all the way over here, there are units on the west side of the map that I did not see until I had played the game for many hours. We got 20 hours into it, maybe more. And okay. Well, I'll deal with that later. The joy of Berlin. You guys got to see the beauty of Moscow. Let's see here. Not quite there. It's Rzhev. There it is, with the giant hammer and sickle star. I have taken Smolensk. I just took it last turn. There was a huge amount of troops in front of it, and it just involved a lot of beating on units to try and get them in. Let's see now. I was going to use my other train battalion. But, so here we are in the south. We've got a Romanian rail division, and I'm trying to hook us up to Odessa. So we've already fixed this hex. We obviously don't want to move those guys. And that's it. So you fix like 2 hexes a turn, basically. I'm going to give it a shot to pick out. I have one more unit. Rather add Germans. And we're still in supply. These are your supply We're 3 hexes away from our headquarters, and we could be a maximum of 15. 4 hexes away, and 5. Alright, so this is kind of terrifying, and I'm applying everything I got to try and take Odessa. So we get notifications of populations evacuating, which had already happened. We've got air flights launching to help with the bombing. We've got a 24-to-1 ratio, finally, of attack this time, and I managed to kick them out. So that's good news. And let's get rid of these suckers. They have been cut off, but we'll see if these guys can do it. Yep. Okay. So they surrendered because they've been cut off. Encirclement in this game works a little differently than previous, what we're used to in Decisive Campaigns Barbarossa, with this Soviet versus Axis ownership. I'd have to get behind them. These guys can all be displaced, though. Let's say this unit at Nikolaeva. It's not worth it, but I could drive behind them and cut them off so it's a green strip separating them from the rest of the Soviet area, and end the turn. And if they went through the end of a turn and nobody came to break the green line to get supply back to them, then I could walk up to them and probably knock them out pretty easily, and they'd surrender rather than retreat. When they retreat or rout, they will zoom back across the map. So it's pretty interesting. I'm just doing this to get rid of these guys. We'll see. Because I got close to them, I captured some fuel or supplies or something, and I'm on my way to Nikolaev. Definitely want you guys out of there. But I've got to watch. See, I'm out of supply already with this guy. 6 of 5. But that's pretty easy to fix. Just gonna make sure I get the right headquarters. Keep them up there. I try to keep them on a rail. Headquarters. And we're good. I'll be moving these guys mostly east now. And it's time consuming. Take the opposite end of the river crossing. That's good. But I found it very enjoyable. I played the smaller things, Road to Minsk, Road to Kiev, Road to Smolensk, and learned my way through. And after about 15 hours of that. That sounds so time consuming, but yep. Test got. Okay. Helping friends with emergencies in the middle of the night. What fun. Well, I guess it's morning now. It's 6:44 now, and the sun has risen. I'm not normally so messed up with my schedule as I am right now for that COVID shot. It was weird. I had chills, and it's not the most pleasant experience. I'll tell you what. Did not enjoy that so much. But after a day or so, it seems to have. I got it on Friday. Yeah, it seems to have taken care of itself, and I'm not dead. All right. So we can see who this is. The unit on the top, and then the commanding unit headquarters is underneath. So I need to find the 11th Army headquarters because I'm slightly out. These guys, 6 out of 15, 7 out of 15, they're cool. Okay, so now that I know these numbers exist, because on my first playthrough I didn't know about these, I didn't know what this 4 or 5 meant. I was wondering, Is that regiments? What is that? Or, you know, units you could split it down into, but I haven't figured that out either. I don't know how to, like, there's a button to do it, but I haven't seen it in action. Okay, so we're 3 out of 5, 7 out of 5. We're still goofed up on this one, so I need to find the headquarters for that. Okay, it's over here. And move that guy on over in that direction. And so we're just getting folks out of the Odessa area here. You're supposed to leave a garrison. I've read a lot of forum posts and that about this game, trying to figure it out, but it's not so easy to figure out, like, alright, how am I going to do? Let me guess, these guys are out of supply now. No, they're right on the line. Okay. Okay, I'm going to leave them. And this is an airfield, so think about the air in this game is the airfields move. So you think about a bunch of engineers and mechanics and pilots, and they have mobile air base. And I've got it set on autopilot right now. All these buttons up here can get them to do things, do checks, bomb airfields, bomb cities, and even other stuff I don't know how to use. This game's kind of complex, you know. The mechanics are fairly straightforward. Just the attacking works differently than Decisive Campaigns Barbarossa. Okay, so I cannot tolerate that guy being left there, so I'm going to zip a cavalry unit back over there. And you see he just retreated from his retreat point across the map. Okay, here's a situation where a couple of units have been cut off, as you can see. And so when we go to attack these guys with our light infantry and have a 99 1 odds, instead of retreating, they can't because they've been encircled. So they're just going to be surrounded. Let's give these guys a chance. There's two ways of attacking in this game. There's quick attack, and then the sort of the committed attack that we just saw. And the basic attack has that arrow there, and then if you hold the shift key down, and a lot of people didn't know this, that's how you get the sort of that decisive attack going. So I tend to go area by area. Here are the Finns. They activated at some point, and I didn't know it because they weren't activated on the first turn. And so I was like, all right, maybe they're not going to attack, or they'll tell me. So I've had to move them, organize them a lot in the last couple turns. And it's a rail line there, an automated rail. I think we have a rail problem here in the way that we did up north. It's very automated here, look at that. Okay. So we're about to have a problem, sort of, here, because there's no rail system beyond this point, other than this. We've also got the old Finnish no-cross line, which all of us know and love. So we can't cross this line, Leningrad or over here. But I can move up to the line. And it's all just bases, so I'm just going to prepare to attack. And it looks like there is one lone Soviet division hanging out here. We'll stop him and ask him for his papers and send him on his way at the point of a bayonet shortly. And actually, I kind of did this wrong. It was kind of. We should be okay. That the headquarters can move. I'd be close to this rail line here. I don't know what that looks like. We're still highlighted. Okay, so that rail line is still Soviet gauge. Oh. So there, we saw that red around that one unit there, this 5th Finnish Infantry Division. It was red because they were out of command. Then as the headquarters got close to it, it came back into command. Okay. So we're going to heavy attack this guy. tell him what's what. And that's good enough for me. Oh, wow. He's got a different headquarters entirely. Okay. Anybody else? Ooh, I don't like that at all. Okay, I need you to get over here onto this side so that I can move closer. These guys are just barely in command. Yep. Drive you down there and try and pick up a spot or two. These are things I really am just starting to use them. Oh boy, I'm gonna go pick this friend up at the airport tonight, about an hour away. And this is going to change, and I'm going to have to go pick him up. Okay. I can just say what I'm doing. Back to that later. Stupid real life. Intruding. It's very important gameplay. I don't think that they're anything to do with this. Yeah, he's out of command now. Oh, what do you know? I don't know why he's marked as out of command when he's clearly not. These guys 715, 815. Yeah, okay, they're wired to that guy. So there's some thinking here going on. Our headquarters here are right behind these front lines. And remember, I can attack a couple of these. So we'll do that. We'll do a heavy attack. And I really thought that I was attacking more guys. It's the highest value one here. Hey, this happens a lot, where you're clicking on things and it sort of declicks itself. Stuck there. Okay, so we'll put you guys all on reserve. Just kind of waiting, and in case something attacks them, they'll wake up. But assuming it helps with keeping your supplies in check or something. But, okay, so the game has got some differences as well. There's some additional units to the ones that we're used to from Barbarossa. Get across the river, son. 5 or 6, okay. And they're all out of command range, or just barely. Okay, so we'll move our headquarters up. And should be able to really thump these guys. 49,000 of us versus 18, and a 40 to 1 advantage almost. That's alright. So, my plan with 4th Panzer was to drive a wedge through these guys, but I don't know. We're getting a little thin down here. There's a lot of headquarters and retreating units in that. They really backed off from here. These were lined up against the enemy last turn. Same thing here. These are security divisions. And again, if I go near this airport here, they will retreat. And I will get a candy. So I'm going to do that. tons of fuel, you see? And we'll come back to that. Maybe. Ooh, Kiev. Yes. Let's talk about Kiev. I want to take Kiev. Alright, so we've got just about everyone we can. I'm actually going to put in another unit here because I can. 2. Okay. So that's a lot. And I just want them out. Kiev, I want Kiev all to myself. So I'm going to have to bust a move here. 10 times as many forces, and it's 200,000 people we attacked the city with, and it worked, but boy, I'm actually not too thrilled about that. Let's see if I can attack these guys across the river. And East Kiev is retreating, evacuating population. I don't know how this is going to go. Yep, we're not strong enough this time. Command, yeah, you are. There he is. Yeah, we'll go clean that up later. So, I want to show you guys a little bit about what it's about. I think we've seen enough. I don't want this to be a 3-hour video, and I think we're at 26 minutes so far with my checking on what my friend's doing, but so you see, it's a lot of management, it's a lot of unit management, it's a lot of, there's still the fun of what strategy you're going to do. It's kind of fun to use your own railroad units and figure that out. You know, what path are you going to take. The air war is interesting, but I really haven't gotten into it beyond the AI. I've never seen a boat, although there are ships. It is kind of fun to transport somebody by rail. If you want to, maybe we'll do that. Alright, just transport a guy by rail so that you can hear it. I think the sound effect got, there was a little woo woo, clank clank. It's you know, if down your one line that you've got working, it is kind of fun. Out of Brest-Litovsk, for example, I have a rail line coming out that goes up towards Minsk, and then heads out towards I think it's Gomel. Yeah, and so I could send a unit all along that. It does take travel points or movement points, but. Anyway, that's a look at the game. There's a lot going on. I still don't really know how I'm going to deal with this, but I didn't know how I was going to deal with Smolensk, or yeah, either. And that was just headbutting like a ram, sheep ram, you know, until I got my way, coming up this way and over the top. And one way or another, I was going to get there, and I'm also trying to claim this road. But I'm at a point now where I'm like, all right, what do I want to do with this area? It looks like I could be able to encircle a lot of these units and to go in there and mess up all these guys just by putting one mobile division there or there is going to make these all disappear. There is a place with a lot of airfields here. And if I can take that city, which I don't think appears on the Decisive Campaigns Barbarossa map, and get up in behind there, I can really disrupt those things. Of course, they'll set up somewhere else in behind, you know, like Rzhev or something, but they'll be damaged by doing that, so it's fun. Anyway, let me know if you have any questions, or if I missed something where you're like, hey, why didn't you explain this? You know, differences between the two games. I'm enjoying them both. They're quite different. To come back to Barbarossa from this, I thought Decisive Campaigns Barbarossa was complicated until I played this. But then again, I'm much more familiar with the other game, having played through it a bunch of times, and I'm still really on my 6th or 7th playthrough. Maybe it's under 10 for sure. So thanks for watching. I'll talk to you soon.